did bring
Good evening, Auburn. My name is Robert Wilkins. This is our 13th edition of Citizens Minutes, as this beautiful, rare, snowy day blankets the plains of Auburn. As you can tell, I'm behind on my Citizens Minutes produced by Auburn's Voice. This council meeting was held on November the 19th, 2024, with 11 citizens during the Citizens Open Forum spoke on various topics. One citizen continued the torch for short-term rental, while another citizen was given excessive time by the mayor about Election Day parking issues. Other issues included the VFW Road flood plain, affordable housing, excessive downtown growth and development, and praising the city council. But the city's main topic was about the Bald Eagle Nest, the home of Jim and Pam, that was destroyed for a new subdivision by Hughston Homes, while ignoring a preset meeting with the Mayor Pro Tem Beth Widden. Others that spoke was the mayor and 3 other Auburn citizens.
Susan Bolt, 1188 East University Drive. November 5th was election night. The right to vote for Americans is protected by the amendments to the United States Constitution as well as federal laws. My right to vote as a woman is protected by the 19th Amendment. It is not dependent on your arbitrary boundaries like those set for short-term rentals in Ordinance 3288 as seen above. Most notably, the First Amendment defends my right of free speech. The Second Amendment defends my right to bear arms. No amendment is more important than the other. None of these should be limited by your arbitrary zoning boundaries, and none of you on this council have the authority to restrict any of my constitutional rights. But you think you do, and the city court system unjustly participates in the attack on its citizens. The Fourth Amendment is supposed to protect U.S. citizens from illegal search and seizure, yet the city of Auburn uses software to openly spy on its citizens who do short-term rentals. Again, an abuse based on location. The Fifth and 14th Amendments are supposed to provide for due process and protection of life, liberty, and property, and to not arbitrarily infringe on property rights. Ordinance 3288 is both arbitrary and a violation of my constitutional property rights. This city council has overstepped its authority with 3288, but some of you, the STR5, Taylor, Griswold, Anders, Parsons, and Dawson, you seem to be rather proud to participate in the theft of Auburn citizens' rights.
Carolyn Ann Carr, 342 Payne Street. I'm the election inspector at Dean Road, Beat 6, Box 5. On election morning, as I approached at 6:30, a little before 6:30, when we asked our poll workers to be there, there was an incredible traffic jam on Dean Road. And then I realized it was due to the absolute melee and confusion in the driveway and the parking area in front of the school, in front of the rec center. Here, I just want to make sure that this change of procedure has been rescinded before we have another mob scene at the next election.
Hi, my name is Rhonda Jackson, and I live on 1515 VFW Road. Mayor of the City Council members, as a citizen of Auburn, I am representing myself and other citizens with a concern for item 9B on the consent agenda. We respectfully would like to request that this council deny unanimous consent and postpone a vote on the flood zone revision of the city of Auburn. Necessary. We ask that this item can be postponed until the next meeting to give time for proper decisions with those of us.
about a young lady, and I can't remember her name, with the light blue shirt on in the back. She talked about historic communities that's being destroyed, has been destroyed, and she wanted to know what the city can do to I guess it's too late to preserve these communities because a lot of them are already gone. But I myself have calls all the time about affordable housing. So I would like for the council or the city manager to address what is being done about providing affordable homes. And it's almost like everybody that comes to me now, they have a concern with where are we gonna go? We're losing a lot of our citizens. We got children. Myself, I got grandkids, and they would like to live here in Auburn. I don't know if, it's gonna be affordable enough in the long run for them to live here. I've lived in Auburn all my life. I'm 64 years old, so that's a long time. And I've seen a lot of changes since I've been here in Auburn. Some good, some bad. And every time I hear people talking about affordable housing, it's sort of touching. It really does a lot. And only if you've been in my shoes, you can understand where I'm coming from with this. So it is an issue that needs to be addressed. I don't know what we would call affordable housing anymore. There's been several meetings about affordable housing. No, it's impossible to build houses now for $50,000, $60,000, and $70,000. It is.
Hey, my name is Sarah Collins, 875 Cahaba Drive. I wasn't able to make it to the last committee meeting because I was under the weather, but I've had a question that I've been thinking on for about the last month. A number of citizens from Ward 7 have got up here repeatedly expressing concerns about a large home being built in their neighborhood that's out of character for what's historically been there. And my question is, what are we doing as a city to make sure that we are providing affordable housing for folks and having our city planning and our zoning such that we're not driving folks out of neighborhoods that they've historically been in. I know I don't have to tell you zoning has historically, especially in the South, been used to segregate based on race and class. So what are we doing as a city to make sure that we're not continuing that legacy and that we're providing affordable housing to folks and not unnecessarily raising land values or putting a burden on folks?
Can us as a city council, as a city, can do to make it affordable for everybody to live in Auburn? Not just the rich, not just the students. I have nothing against students. I got them all around me. I come from a historic neighborhood. They everywhere. They and look like every time somebody comes to the city council now, it's about growth in their neighborhoods. So I'd like to see her question answered. If you may not can't answer it tonight, but I think by December the 3rd, this young lady deserves some answers along with other people who has some concern about affordable homes. So if we can make that one of our priorities as a city to just address those issues, because it's in our minds, but we don't bring it up a lot, and it needs to be brought up.
All the things that happened here recently over the past weekend, and as I kind of sat there thinking about, some of the things that go on here, the thing that keeps playing over in my head is at what cost? Auburn has grown tremendously since I've been here in 2021, and constantly as I drive around, I'm seeing less and less green and more just thrown up houses everywhere, construction, traffic, everything happening in the community. And since I've been coming here since I was a kid, my dad went to Auburn. That wasn't the Auburn that I grew up seeing, and we're constantly seeing things happening. I mean, I'm sure everybody's heard about, the sinking apartments buildings downtown. So I just wonder, at what cost are we, trying to grasp progress? I mean, at what cost was Hughston Homes willing to cut down a tree to progress for a little bit of money? What cost are we giving up the Auburn that everybody looked at and cherished over the years? So that's just kind of what I was thinking about and wanted to say, but nothing further.
John Cochran, 878 Cherokee Road. I just want to say thank you to Kelly and Mayor for postponing the mud thing there today. This was thrown on us all kind of quick, and that's what I want to talk about briefly. The city sent out letters. I got the letter 5 days basically before the Planning Commission. Now, I looked for timelines. I really didn't find one that said when I have to be notified, 5 days for the sign and stuff like that. I think we may need to look at changing those, giving the citizens a little more time to respond to some of these notices, because that's just not a lot of time for me to look at stuff. The other thing I want to do is just kind of plant a seed, and when we're reviewing and talking about this stuff, I would like y'all to pay attention to the wording in the zoning ordinance, particularly ones that say character and adverse effect to neighboring property. And think about what those are and what they may be, because Auburn, I've been here for a long time, since 78 off and on, and the neighborhoods have certain characteristics, and we like to keep that intact.
58189 U.S. Highway 431. I have grown up in Auburn and around Auburn my entire life. I consider Auburn my stomping grounds. Ever since I was a child, I remember long before any of these apartment buildings were erected, I remember being able to walk from the Chevron that was downtown over to the McDonald's and being able to cut clear across, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today, I'm here to talk about hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is something that we're all guilty of at times. So first of all, I want to say, Bob Parsons, thank you earlier for your acknowledgement to the racial violence that has been done in this community and on this land. I think it's important to acknowledge those things. However, I think it's hypocritical to acknowledge those things without talking about Tyus D. Cobb, an Auburn man who was about my age, an African-American man murdered by Opelika Police Department, and also Amari Justin Young murdered about a week later by Auburn police. Of hypocrisy. Chalk has been a long-held tradition on Toomer's Corner for political reasons as well as celebration reasons. And I was ejected from Toomer's Corner for using chalk on the corner. I'm sure everybody saw that in the news.
I'm sorry. 4123 Creekwater crossing Nolan Tarbert. Apologize. I just want to express my appreciation for the job you all do. I understand there's going to be yays and nays. That's a fact of life, even among yourselves. But the bottom line, you agree to disagree. But overall, we just want to express our appreciation for the job that you all do. I know a lot of times you get more spanks and bumps and be criticized, but do know we really appreciate y'all. That's all I want to say.
So as we move into Citizens Open Forum, I'd just like to make a short comment related to why maybe some of y'all are here that don't normally come to our meetings. And of course, you're always welcome to come back. Certainly, our community has been consumed by a story related to the welfare of a set of Eagles in North Auburn. And I'm speaking personally, I'm not speaking for the rest of the council, and they'll have their opportunity to speak later. This has certainly been a disappointing end to this story. We believed going into the weekend that we would have an opportunity yesterday morning to have a discussion with the owners of this property to try to find any way to save the situation and to make the nest and to allow the nest potentially to remain. That discussion did not occur because the nest came down in the meantime. I am sorry that we didn't have a chance to have that discussion, and it's a very disappointing end. to this, and I'm sure we'll hear more from you guys a little bit later. Ms. Widden has been very, very involved in this. This has occurred in her ward, and I didn't know if she might want to have something she'd like to say before we get started, too.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I did make a statement on my social media account this past Saturday, the 16th, after several actions took place by Hughston Homes late Friday afternoon and over the course of several days. I just want to let the public know that I continue to be invested in the welfare of the pair of bald eagles that affectionately have been now named Jim and Pam, whose nest was taken down by Hughston Homes late Friday afternoon, November 15th. I remain disappointed with the events that occurred over the last several days, but I do want to let you know that I remain grateful for the passion and the empathy that the community has shown, not only to the welfare of these eagles, but also their concern of how this took place in this course of actions. And also, I just want to let you know that it does not go past me that Hughston Homes deceived me personally into thinking that the city would have an opportunity to discuss, as the mayor said, some options to preserve the nest that was in question. I'm also disappointed that so-called professionals would act with such great disregard for a community that they want to do business in. So I want to let you know again that those who've reached out across not only Auburn, but also really kind of the whole country who are part of the Auburn family, that it is my hope that we can take the events that have taken place over several days and really start to have questions of how we can move forward, and that the relationship between development and nature does not go unnoticed for me, and that as you have had questions and will continue to have questions about what next steps may happen or occur, I too have questions. And I also want to state that it has been confirmed that Fish and Wildlife are officially investigating the actions that led to the taking of the eagle's nest over the weekend. And I expect an outcome that will hold the developer accountable for their actions. And so I know that many of you are here, and so it is my hope that over the course of your comments that we can have some dialogue after that about what the next steps may be.
Stephen Dixon, 916 Viv Avenue, Auburn. The city of Auburn has shown in the past that it can take decisive action when it chooses to. Whether it's regulating property use or enforcing development standards, the city has demonstrated its willingness to assert authority even when those decisions have significant impacts on its residents. That's why the response to the bald eagle's nest at the Heritage Ridge development is so frustrating. The council members are claiming they only learned about this issue in the past few days. That simply isn't true. The eagle's nest and the development at Heritage Ridge were discussed in the June 13th Planning Commission meeting, where the nest was explicitly addressed. The city has known about this for months. The council has failed to act. Instead of working proactively to protect something that this community values deeply, the council waited until it was too late.
My name is Jason Haney. I live at 134 Grazia Way. Primarily, I'm here, if I can get my notes. There's a lot to say. A lot of it doesn't involve the city of Auburn and this committee. I understand that. It's a federal issue with the Eagles. I just want to say thank you to Beth Widden for your words and your actions, and to you, Mayor Anders, for your actions and your words. I hope that you and us as citizens, all of us, can work towards a resolution to prevent future concernable actions from not only developers, but all others who wish to do business in the city of Auburn.
Civil engineering in 2019 and decided to call Auburn home after that. Growing up, I spent most of my weekends and summers in the outdoors with the Boy Scouts of America, where I learned about most of my skills I use today, and learning and enjoying the scenery and wildlife. For me, we share this space with not just humans, but creatures and animals of all varying sizes. I come tonight to defend the wildlife and hope to persuade the City Council of Auburn to show that their might and strength against Hughston Homes in more ways than one. Tonight, I'm not here to point fingers or lay blame to anyone not associated with Hughston Homes. Don't see a representative, don't see them apologizing. For everyone in the room that didn't stand up for the purchase of the property, including myself, we all tried in the 11th hour, we all failed in that regard, but all failures come with bleakness and despair. For me, I come to defend the Eagles. It wasn't until Thursday night of November 14th that I even know that Auburn had a wild breeding pair of eagles, not even located a few miles from my house, nor did they even know that they had called this parcel of land home since 2017.
Citizens' questions. Sam asks, can you tell me the importance and the history of the American bald eagle? Well, Sam, I got this article out of the U.S. Veterans Affairs page titled The American Bald Eagle. Best answers your question. The bald eagle has been the national bird of the United States since 1782, when it was placed with outspread wings on the Great Seal of our country. It appears in many government institutions and on official government documents, making it the most pictured bird in all of America. The eagle appeared on the President's seal, the mess of the House of Representatives, military insignia, and billions of $1 bills. The bald eagle first appeared on a Massachusetts copper cent coined in 1776. Since then, it has appeared on the reverse side of many U.S. coins, notably the silver dollar, half dollar, and quarter, as well as the gold coins, which were christened the eagle, half eagle, quarter eagle, and double eagle. For 6 years, the members of Congress held a bitter dispute over what the national emblem should be. It wasn't until 1789 that the bald eagle was finally chosen to represent the nation. But to Auburn University fans and Auburn residents, it represents War Eagle. A quote by Chief Crazy Horse. He said, "Treat the earth well. It was not given to you by your parents. It was loaned to you by your children. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children." Please make comments or become a guest speaker on Citizens Minutes by going to nextdoor.com or youtube.com. Your counsel is only as good as the information that you gather. Until Auburn's voice